All right, so yesterday HBO dropped the trailer for the new Harry Potter series. As you know, or if you have been following my videos lately, I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I read all of the books in German and in English. I listened to all of the audiobooks. As you maybe also know, I am currently listening to the Full Cast Audio Editions. I made a couple of reviews about them. You can watch them in my feed. So I listened to the Full Cast Audio Edition. I listened to both of the versions in German. I listened to the English audiobooks before the Full Cast audiobooks came out. So I'm very familiar with the material, and I obviously also watched the movies. The movies, I actually started with the third one because I always felt the first and second movie were a little bit childish. But when I watched the third movie, I gotten into Harry Potter, started reading the books, watching all of the movies, and yeah, been a huge fan of the series. So now HBO dropped the trailer, and I was skeptical before I watched the trailer. I thought, okay, how are they going to do it? Are they going to be true to the material? And if they are true to the material, will it still be an interesting watch, or will it just be the Harry Potter movies with new actors? Will they change the material? Maybe to the detriment, maybe to a fault, where they add so many things that it isn't the Harry Potter books anymore, the story, and maybe they do something completely different and I wouldn't like it. Or will they find a little bit of a balance point where they are true to the story but add a little bit of a couple of details that make it interesting? And now, having watched the trailer, I think they managed the lateral, meaning it looks like they were true to the story, but added a couple of elements that make it a little bit darker and more realistic. For example, in the trailer, they start in the Muggle world. So in our world, you see Harry being bullied, and then, his life being very miserable and kind of building up this misery of him being in the Muggle world, which hasn't or is also being kind of portrayed in the books, but not that vividly. So in the books, you never see Harry getting bullied in the regular school, at least not in the first book. And showing that, at least in the trailer, let's see how it is in the series, but showing that it kind of emphasizes the melancholy of Harry in his real life, and how it will kind of underline this magic reveal, no pun intended, going into the magical world. And I think that is really cool. Especially, it will also kind of make it so much stronger. And I'm sorry, careful, spoiler alert. Something in the end, or I'm trying to kind of not spoil it. Something in the end of the last book happens where Harry will see someone else in a completely different light because the bullying happens to that person as well. And kind of showing in the beginning already Harry being a bullied kid will, I think, loop back so nicely to the end of the series, whenever that will be. And hopefully this will be a good series and they will actually do all of the books, but I'm pretty sure they will do all of the books. This is a cash grab. They will do it. So adding those little elements to it are really good. Everything else that I've seen in the trailer that is true, that is in the magical world, looked somewhat true to the story. I'm really looking forward to this, and I really hope that they stay true to the story and only add a couple of small little details that emphasize the story. And that is the key point. Everything that they add should kind of support the story, but not change it. And I hope that doesn't happen. I think one thing that I felt is a little bit jarring for now is actually the part of, or the casting of Snape. I think you could kind of compare it to the Marvel casting of Nick Fury. If you are old enough, you maybe remember that Nick Fury was white, and casting Samuel L. Jackson as a POC Nick Fury, I assume, I didn't know it, or I didn't felt it that way when that happened. I guess some people felt it was maybe a little bit jarring because it was such a change. And with Harry Potter's Snape, where what was his name? This actor is so good. I mean, he was in Die Hard, he was in Galaxy Quest. What was his name? I forgot his name. But he is Severus Snape, and the book describes him pretty much like that. And I will get to just a second why this change is a little bit jarring, as especially me as a person of color as well. So that changed because so many people kind of think of Severus Snape with that actor. That will be jarring. But I think the most important part that I feel like could be a little bit weird is, especially in this climate. So Harry is obviously white, Hermione is white, Ron is white, and I feel it to be a little bit weird whenever Harry would say, "Oh, I don't trust Snape. Why don't you trust Snape? I don't know. He's weird. He's evil." And then you see Snape and he's a person of color. I don't know. It seems a little bit weird. Oh, Snape must be a dark wizard. And then you see this new Snape and he's a person of color. And you're like, I mean, there is a huge reveal, and I know I'm spoiling a little bit, but it's an old book. The movies have been out for many years, so maybe I'm sorry if you have been spoiled now because you've never seen it, but many of you might know that in the end, obviously Snape is a good guy. But if you don't know it, for the very first season, or for the very first books, it will be very weird, especially in the first book when everyone asks Harry, "Why don't you trust Snape?" And he's like, "I don't know, he's weird." From the perspective that Snape is a person of color, that is extremely weird, and I feel like that could be perceived strangely. But other than that, I think it looks extremely interesting, and I'm looking forward. The series will be out at the end of the year. Highly anticipated for me. I'm looking forward to that. So what are your thoughts about this trailer of the Harry Potter series? Are you looking forward to watch it? Let me know in the comment section below. And maybe check out my review about the full cast audio edition Harry Potter, the Order of the Phoenix. Watch it up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.